The story happened in 2014 near Rongbuk Monastery in Tingri District, Zigazi District, Tibet Autonomous Region. Some people in our climbing group were frustrated with nature, so they tried to help each other go under the guidance of a local guide. We started down the mountain. Unlike the previous uphill with high confidence, the downhill road this time was extremely long and rough. When we reached the campsite, the three of us collapsed on the ground almost at the same time from fatigue.
"We are safe now. I will find someone to help,"
said the tour guide. Fang, a local Tibetan guide, was trying to comfort us with a few words and then went to find someone to help us notify the rescue team at the foot of the mountain. Looking back on this climb, I still had feared. There were 4 people on our team, all members of the Chamber of Commerce. We all liked outdoor sports. We were always ready to conquer anywhere with a sparse population and harsh environment. Mount Everest was our common desire, but we did not expect that the event of conquering the top of the world would end this way. 2 days ago, we passed by Rongbuk Monastery's Everest base camp. We chose the climbing path by ourselves and started towards the holy land of Mount Everest. At that time, we were filled with confidence, and we felt that we were able to conquer anything on this mountaintop. At this time, our team leader was Ming, a captain with the most successful business and the most adventurous spirit in us. "Hurry up!" He always encouraged people like that. I must say that under Ming's leadership throughout the journey, we have made good progress, overcome many difficulties and dangers. Everything had gone very smoothly. But maybe our luck has ran out. The sacred snow mountain had not finally taken care of ignorant people like us. When Ming was climbing an ice cliff, his climbing gear fell off because the ice broke. Ming had no support at all, suddenly slipped and fell. The gap between 2 snow-covered mountains was hundreds of meters high, extremely dark below. We were about 20 meters away from Ming at that time, and we couldn't save him. We could only watch him disappear into the dark. Several of us were dumbfounded as we watched him disappear. When we were planning our trip to Mount Everest, we all promised to do well. But when Ming's sudden death appeared in front of us like this, we didn't dare to face it. We did not have the ability and courage to find and rescue Ming, so we had to retreat to the rest station on the mountainside yesterday warily. After Ming's accident, I once again looked up at the snow-capped mountains in front of me. It was no longer sacred as before, but full of mystery, majesty, and fear. We reported the accident to the local search and rescue team and waited 2 days at the rest station for someone to guide us down the mountain. Unexpectedly, the result after much waiting was that the search and rescue team had not yet found Ming's body due to the harsh weather and geography. Honestly, we also knew many people died and went missing on that snow-capped mountain, but if we wanted to give up like this and leave him here, we really couldn't. If you guys want to find him, I have a way to try. At this time, Fang, the old Tibetan guide, suddenly told us that he had one way, but this way was a secret technique in Tibet. Facing the snow-covered mountains with no clue, we had no choice but to agree to trust the experienced older man. We found no help but to believe in Fang. He carried a basket full of cow dung and a black ceramic jar in his hand and went up the mountain alone. Next, 2 long days of waiting, we were all hoping and looking forward to Fang. During these 2 days, we analyzed the ability of an older man like Fang to find Ming's body, and the conclusion we got was not optimistic at all. Not to mention, the older man couldn't go down into the deep gorge to find Ming without advanced climbing equipment. Moreover, the things he carried weren't of any help. However, we also knew that anything was possible in the mystical Tibet region. Those who visited Tibet had less understanding of the mysterious land in Tibet than they experienced of the people living here. At this moment, we suddenly heard footsteps outside. We were sitting by the window and looking out. It turned out that Fang was back, and behind him there was another person. Looking at that man's equipment, it turned out that Ming had not died yet. When we saw Ming follow behind Fang, we were all glad that he wasn't dead yet. We were all excited to run out of the camp. But I didn't know how this was possible because I had seen Ming fall off the cliff, not to mention Ming was in the mountains for 5 days without supplies. Although it was unbelievable, the truth was in front of us. We were still eagerly waiting for Ming's return. But when we got closer and saw Ming, everyone's mood dropped again. How could he be alive when the bruised face of a dead person has appeared? His whole body was full of cracked purple wounds. But even though we asked, Fang, the older man, didn't reply to us. His mysterious attitude intrigued us all. At this moment, I saw him take out a Tibetan blanket from the camp and spread it flat on the ground. Then he drew some cryptic handprints on Ming's face and pushed them back. At this time, Ming completely fell back, directly lying on the Tibetan blanket. Fang took off all Ming's clothes and found another Tibetan blanket to cover him. I knew this was the ultimate Tibetan respect for corpses. When Fang took out a piece of camel meat from the small black jar he carried with him, then we heard him say that the camel meat was soaked with special herbs. Fang lifted a piece of camel meat over his head and circled Ming's body 3 times, chanting continuously. Then he squatted down, bringing the piece of camel meat close to the nose and mouth of Ming's body. At first, we didn't understand what he was up to, but about a minute later we saw a strange bulge in Ming's throat. Ming's throat was constantly twisting, getting longer and longer, getting closer and closer to his mouth. Something seemed to be about to crawl out of his neck. Right after that, 2 tentacle-like things protruded from Ming's mouth. We were all shocked by this horrible and mysterious sight before our eyes. We were speechless. Slowly, a big red bug crawled out of the mouth of Ming. It was a thing we had never seen before. The worms followed Fang and the camel meat, then crawled into the black jar. Then Fang tightly covered the mouth of the jar. Seeing that Fang had completed the ritual, we realized that Ming's body was able to move thanks to that creepy bug and that strange secret technique. The matter was over. Ming's body was brought back to his hometown. I didn't know how many people were still dreaming about the snowy mountain Mecca because it had many mysteries.